If you were at all active on the internet in the 2000s, that song likely sent chills down your spine. That, my friend, is nostalgia. A sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, something the massively popular MMO RuneScape has mastered taking advantage of. RuneScape is an incredibly unique experience. Tons of different skills to level up, areas to explore, bosses to defeat, and of course, quests to complete. Coming from someone who has played this game on and off for over half his life and closing in on 20,000 hours total, these things take a lot of time. Because of this, speedrunning RuneScape isn't exactly simple. Naturally, people have tried to do so over the years, but with things like accounts taking thousands of hours to max and quests being non-repeatable, you can't exactly do runs like in a typical game. That is, until the new game mode Quest Speedrunning was released. Welcome to Speedrunning Simplified. Quest Speedrunning is a new game mode just released for Oldschool RuneScape. This puts players on worlds separate from the main game, and depending on the quest they decide to speedrun, the account will be given different items and stats, so everybody's on the same playing field. There are currently 154 quests in Oldschool RuneScape. However, on launch, Quest Speedrunning will only come with 5 of those quests, with more planned to come out each month after launch. This will initially differ from speedrunning that RuneScape has seen previously, as any of the runs that have been done in the past started on the character creation screen, going through Tutorial Island. This was a big barrier for entry, because being an MMO, every run you wanted to do, you would have to create a brand new account, which involved making a new email and going through the entire process all over again. The tutorial won't be part of Speedrun Worlds, however, allowing the player to focus solely on the quests they choose. The developers have stated that the technology is in place to expand to incorporate different routes outside of just single quests, should the interest be there. For completing quest speedruns, the player is also awarded points based on how well they did, which can purchase rewards for their character in the main game, giving incentive to participate whether you're interested in speedrunning or not. These worlds will have the same mechanics while on a speedrun as regular worlds, with a few exceptions. First of all, every account will be treated as an Iron Man. This means you cannot trade with other players and must acquire everything you need on your own. PvP, or player versus player combat, will also be disabled, so you can't be griefed if you are needed to go into the wilderness. Any teleport with a cooldown will be paused on logout, so you can't cheese the system by logging out to refresh your teleport. Shops have a static stock, and items never sell out, and item spawns are player specific, so there is no competition for an item you may need for your run. Let's take a look at the 5 quests being released on launch day, as well as the 10 planned for the upcoming months. What better way to launch something like Quest Speedrunning than with 5 of the most iconic free-to-play quests, ranging from the very first quest ever released to the very last free-to-play quest back in the day. Those quests would be Cook's Assistant and Dragon Slayer. Alongside these two, there will be Ernest the Chicken, Demon Slayer, and Vampire Slayer. The proposed platinum time for these quests range from just 2 minutes for Cook's Assistant to 18 minutes for Dragon Slayer, so none of them are particularly long. Cook's Assistant has the player collect an egg, bucket of milk, and a pot of flour for the cook in Lumbridge Castle. That's really it. This can be completed in seconds if you have all the items on you when you start the quest. But for quest speedrunning, you'll have to go gather these ingredients after starting. I remember back when I was a little kid, I completed this quest by hiring someone I met outside the castle to go get the ingredients for me, back in simpler times. Ernest the Chicken is a little more complex, but still relatively short. Veronica's fiance, Ernest, was lost in the scary Drainer Manor, and she wants you to find him. You'll find Professor Odenstein upstairs, who turned Ernest into a chicken. Locating a pressure gauge, rubber tube, and oil can inside the manor will help him turn Ernest back to normal. This is done by locating fish food and poison in the manor and poisoning the fountain outside to find the pressure gauge. Searching the compost heap outside for a key and entering the room on the ground floor for a rubber tube. And solving a door puzzle using levers in the basement for the oil can. Vampire Slayer sees the player revisiting the manor, as Morgan in Drainer Village claims there is a vampire in the basement causing distress to the village. Talking to Dr. Harlow in the Southern Varrock pub and buying him a beer will net you a steak. Using this with a hammer, you're able to awaken Count Drainer and kill him. Demon Slayer is exactly what it sounds like. You need to kill the demon, Delrith, who is being summoned south of Varrock. To do this, you need the weapon the Silverlight, located in Varrock Castle. Sir Pryzen, Captain Roven, and Wizard Trailborn all have a key required to open it. Sir Pryzen lost his key, which can be found in the Varrock sewers by using a bucket of water on the drain out back at the castle. Trailborn wants 25 bones from the player, and Captain Roven just hands it over. Using this Silverlight will allow you to slay the demon. And last but not least, leaves the most iconic and longest of these first 5. Dragon Slayer. Oziak and Edgeville wants you to kill the notorious Green Dragon of Crandor, Elvarg, and return with her head as proof. To travel to Crandor, the player needs 3 pieces of a map, a boat, a captain to get you there, and a shield to protect yourself from dragonfire. The shield is obtained in Lumbridge Castle from the Duke, and the boat is purchased and repaired on the dock of Port Sarim. The map, however, is not as simple. One piece is located in Melzar's Maze, killing specific monsters inside to obtain a key and proceed to the next room, reaching the bottom and killing a lesser demon to search a chest for a map piece. Another is located in the Dwarven Mines. After solving a riddle the Oracle of Ice Mountain gives you, you can bring a set of very specific items to the magic room in the mines to open the door and get another map piece. And lastly, the final piece is held by a goblin named Wormbrain, who just so happens to be in jail in Port Sarim. You can either kill him and grab his piece through the gate with a telekinetic grab spell, or pay him 10,000 coins in exchange for it. From here you hire Ned and Draenor Village to be your captain and set sail to Crandor, slaying Elvarg and returning to Oziak for quest complete. In the future, they plan to release 2 desert quests in Prince Ally Rescue and Beneath Cursed Sands, 2 vampire quests, being A Taste of Hope and Sins of the Father, some smaller quests such as Below Ice Mountain, Temple of the Eye, X Marks the Spot, and Black Knight's Fortress, and 2 of Old School RuneScape's biggest quests, A Kingdom Divided and Dragon Slayer 2. As someone who has always loved questing in RuneScape, it being my very first accomplishment cape all the way back in 2010, I really hope quest speedrunning is well received and enjoyed by many. There are so many possibilities for this game mode, and I am really excited to see what the future of RuneScape speedrunning looks like. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other videos, please consider leaving a like and a comment telling me what you thought down below. If you play RuneScape yourself, what was your very first 99? Mine was defense. And if you enjoy speedrunning content just as much as I do, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you can learn about all sorts of different speedruns alongside me. Thank you so much for watching.